June 2021. I do hope we're all well. I really, really do. So I've been back at work a week or just over, physically driving the bus. And I've got to say, I'm finding it a lot more enjoyable than I did before. You know, it's been over a year since I was driving last, and it got to a point where it got to me. It really did. I was getting the hump. I was getting upset. I wasn't very happy with the job, in all fairness, and you can understand why, because it just gets to a point where you have to work 7 days straight to get 2 days off. Sometimes you're really early in the morning, even earlier than this one, JBM, good morning, or you're working dead late, and with quite often little to no thanks or appreciation. So it was getting to me somewhat, and now I'm back and I'm on a different rota, the same route, but I'm not on the high earners anymore. I'm enjoying it a lot more, I've got to say, because I'm having more time at home. Why the Sun bus is still the 30 people sticker on the that is, I honestly don't know the answer to that one, mate. I really don't. But yeah, it gets to a point where it's like, well, I'm enjoying the job now because I'm not working so many hours in the day. I'm on the standard rota for my route, and I am enjoying it a lot more, you see, because obviously for me, getting back onto the route that I drive, it's a route that I love driving, and seeing my customers, that makes it worthwhile for me, especially when I know I can give them a damn good drive. You know, when I drive, it sounds cocky, but when I drive my bus, I like to think of myself as being the best bus driver in London. I'm probably far from it, in all fairness, but I aim to be the best I can be. I literally keep it as safe, smooth and as comfortable as possible while trying to deliver the best possible customer service. I really do. But the thing is, you can't please everyone. It's actually an impossibility. You can't please everyone. Believe me, I know. I've tried. But it gets to a point where no matter what you do, there's always going to be, on any trip, at any time of the day, there's always going to be one person, always one person, who will do everything they can, regardless of how good your drive was, regardless of everything. They'll just try their very level best to drag you down. You know, whether it's verbally or physically, or just being a pain in the arse for the sake of being a pain in the arse. You know, it's a prime example. It was a case of, there was a bus stop closure. In fact, the bus stop's still probably closed, but it's on Monday. Now, I'm unaware of said closure. I didn't know the bus stop was closed, okay? But for those who don't know, the bus stop is closed when there's a yellow hood on top of the bus stop covering the bus signs or the bus routes and the roundel at the top. It's got a yellow hood. Buses don't serve, I mean, some drivers do because they're stupid. Even I can say that. But you don't, as the rule is, never serve a closed bus stop. It's closed for a reason. Leaving the job after COVID. I don't know what Boris Johnson's doing. I don't care anymore. I sent Boris Johnson a reply on Twitter. I don't think he's going to like that too much. But no. But as I was saying, though, bus stops are closed for a reason. It could be for safety reasons. It could be because that bus stop is structurally unsafe. It could be because there's going to be roadworks directly opposite that bus stop, which is usually the case. But when there's a yellow hood on the bus stop, by and large, you just don't stop at it, okay? Now, I was unaware of this bus stop closure on Barry Road. Barry Road is in Peckham, or East Dulwich, depending on how you want to swing that one. So I've gone past the Gardens bus stop and I've come up to Barry Road. You know, I've checked my mirrors, I'm indicating right. I've positioned myself to turn into Barry Road. And as I've come up to Barry Road, I've looked down it and I've seen the bus stop closure. So I know this is going to be a frustration to people because no one wanted to get off at the Gardens. So I didn't stop. There was no one at that bus stop. There was no one standing in the bus looking like they wanted to get off. So I proceeded with caution. So I've looked down Barry Road and I've seen this bus stop closure. And before I've turned into it, I've made an announcement. I've pushed the PA system, and bus drivers, remember this, your PA system is your best friend. You may not like using it, but believe me, the PA system is your best friend when you're driving a bus. So I've pushed the PA system. It's taken about a second or two to go boom, like that. And I said, a very good morning, everyone. Please accept my apologies for this inconvenience. However, the next bus stop is closed. I was unaware of this closure. Unfortunately, I cannot stop there. I will have to take you to the next one. Once again, please accept my apologies for any inconvenience. So that's the best I can do. Okay, let me just turn this alarm off. So that there was the best I could do given the situation. I am never going to stop at a closed bus stop. We're not insured. If I stop at a closed bus stop and anyone hurts themselves getting in and out of the bus, it's my fault because I stopped there. So of course, there's always one person, do you remember? And she came trolling down the bus. Driver, why didn't you tell us about the fucking bus stop closure? I said, madam, I just told you about the closure. I was unaware. I didn't know the bus stop was closed, but let me drive this bus. You can talk to me when we get to the next stop. So I've gone to the next bus stop, you know, handbrake, open the rear door, open the front door. And then she stood there trying to dictate the odds to me like I'd never driven a bus before. Why didn't you stop at the Gardens bus stop? Why didn't you do this? Why didn't you do that? You bus drivers, you're all the same. Blah, 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 blah. Madam, please. Madam, I didn't know the bus stop was closed. Okay, I didn't know it was closed. I told you when I saw the closure that it was closed. It was just as much as a shock to me as it was to you. I'm sorry for your inconvenience, but we're here now. There's nothing more I could have done. You know, and it's like thinking I'm stupid because I drive a bus. Really? You have no idea the qualifications I have under my belt or the qualifications my colleagues have under their belt. I work with bus drivers who are microbiologists. I work with bus drivers who are qualified pilots. I work with bus drivers who used to be GPs. Yeah, you see, we're very clever people. We're not stupid. I know bus drivers that are professional video editors. We choose to do this job because we actually enjoy it. It's, for some, a lot less money than what they would have had in their enjoyable job if you get it done right. If you do the best you can, it's really rewarding. It really is. I personally love driving people from A to B. I love that because I like driving. I like being able to control a large vehicle in a controlled, safe way, knowing that I'm taking people to wherever they need to go. Quite often with no thanks at all, you see. But people think we're stupid. They really do. And there was another instance yesterday. Now I'm not an arsehole. I used to be. I mean, I used to be that bus driver that would never let you go. I used to be an arsehole. I used to be one. But yesterday, this woman came up to the bus and she snuck on the back door. Now, on these LTs, or the LTs, or the Boris bus in my garage, all of the card readers in the middle have been removed. They're all gone. So the only card reader now is the one that is at the front by the driver, which means the rear door and the middle door are exit only. That's the way it works now. And the front door is the entrance door. So of course, I'm going to follow correct loading and alighting procedure, which is rear doors first, let people off, close rear doors, open front doors. Common sense. And God knows I like a little bit of common sense, but this woman, she snuck on the back door. So I thought, okay, maybe she didn't know. It happens. You know, so far over the last week I've been back driving, every single person that's got on the back door has looked for a card reader and they've gone, it's at the front. And they've all come down to the front without me having to say a word. It's been actually quite refreshing. But this woman, she snuck on the back and then she just stood there. And she stood there looking at her phone. And I looked around, I just looked around the corner to my left past the screen, and she looked up at me. And I said, "Madam, please, could you tap your Oyster card on for me, please?" And she looked at me, I think she played the I don't speak English role. You know, she tried the I don't speak English. She could speak English very well, actually. She tried to pull it, right? So she pulled her Oyster card out and she tapped it on. Now I'll tell you exactly what bus stop I'm at. I'm at Clayton Road before the diversion, right? And she touches her Oyster card on and it goes beep, beep. That means there's no money on it. She's obviously used her emergency fare. So I asked her, and you have to ask them, I said, do you have any other method of payment at all? Contactless payment, bank card, or Apple Pay, Samsung Pay, Google Pay, and do you have anything else? No, she says. I want to go to the station, she says. Now, I had to explain to her that bus isn't going by any stations, not until at least September because of this diversion. And then she goes, I want to go here, then I want to go there. I said, "Madam," I said, "there's no money on your Oyster card. There's none." And the thing is, I wouldn't normally have had an issue with it, all right, if she'd got on the front and asked me nicely, but she snuck on the back. And believe it or not, TfL have been floating around bus stops over the last week. And I don't really want to end up getting into a situation where TfL and police or British Transport Police get on my bus and then something happens and I end up getting the blame for it. I'm not into that. Right. So I offered her to go to the next bus stop on Nigel Road because I know there's a shop there where she can top her Oyster card up, and we can do that as bus drivers. If someone has no money on their bus pass, we can take them to the next available shop in order to go and top it up. Not a problem. So I said to her, look, the next bus stop is at Nigel Road. I'll take you there, but there's no stations at the moment. If you want the station, you're going to have to walk back down Rye Lane. And she was there nodding, yeah, Rye Lane, yeah, station. She knew exactly what I was saying, trying to pull the, I don't speak English bollocks. And so anyway, I get around this diversion, Consort Road, Copeland Road, lovely little diversion that. And I get to the Nigel Road stop outside the Tesco's. And you cross over the road, there's a shop, top up your Oyster card, not a problem. And I looked around and said, "Madam, this is your stop." And at that point, she starts pretending not to understand a word I'm saying again. I said, "Madam, you need to top up your Oyster card. I can't take you any further. It's just not going to happen." So then she got off the bus And the way she looked at me was as if death by 1,000 needles. I tried my best for her. I did. And the thing is, if she just got on the front and said, look, if she was honest about it and said, look, driver, I've got no money on my bus pass. Please, can you take me somewhere? Yes. Because if you're asking me, I'm seeing you as someone who is vulnerable and in distress. I have an obligation to help you then. But if you sneak on the bus on the back door and look around like Dick Dastardly trying to be all sneaky, you know, with little Muttley next to you going like that, so you literally look sus. If you just asked me, just be honest about it, I would have helped you. The fact that I helped you anyway by taking you one bus stop, and to be honest with it was quite a far away bus stop because it's on a diversion route. I gave you an option. I got you a little bit closer to where you needed to go, and I got you somewhere where you could top up your Oyster card. You see? But it just didn't end there. No. It didn't end there at all. Because as I've approached Nigel Road again, okay, I've remembered this time that the bus stop is closed. So I've come to the gardens on the way there, and I've pushed the button. The next bus stop is closed. Old Joanna Lumley on the iBus system. The next bus stop is closed. Right. So I always make a point of pushing that thing 3 times. 3 times I always press it. The next bus stop is closed. Okay. So of course, again, I've come up to this right-hand turn onto Barry Road, and lo and behold, the bus stop is closed still. Okay. So I've gone past the stop. I've told people 3 times this bus stop is closed. And I've gone on to the next one. And the same woman that moaned at me the day before on Monday, the same woman that moaned at me about it on Monday, she came down the bus again and she went, "Thank you, driver." I thought that was a bit vicious. And as she got off the bus, she gave me again the nastiest of looks. You know, bearing in mind, she mouthed off at me on Monday something, I mean, it was very un-Christian. It really was, you see. But I think she was expecting me to stop at the closed bus stop. Because there's people that I know yesterday that knew that stop was closed. I saw them stopping at the stop. And the thing is that makes life difficult for me, because if people start seeing bad driving and bad behaviour like that, they're going to start thinking, well, if he can do it, then you should do it. I want that sort of thing. You see, why can't you stop at the closed stop? Do you know what? You do you, boo. Seriously. You know, if that driver wants to be an idiot and he or she wants to go stopping at closed bus stops, you know what? It's their job on the line, not mine. But it does make my job a little bit harder when they get on my bus and say, but the other driver done it. Yes, clearly. If the other driver had gone to the top of the Shard and lobbed himself off, that would clearly be a good thing for me to do as well, wouldn't it? But we're not stupid, we're not. I mean, some of us act it sometimes with the way they drive, like not stopping at closed bus stops. I mean, look, if I come up to a closed bus stop and I didn't know it was closed, I'm still not going to serve it. Whether you like it or not, it's just not going to happen. I've actually, in the past, upset a busload of people. An absolute busload of people, where I think it was Lambeth North. This might be about 6 or 7 years ago. I was coming up to Lambeth North, and the NTC, and if anyone doesn't know, NTC is the Network Traffic Controller. They're the TfL people that you see in the red vans. They were there literally as I was there, or approaching it, sorry, hooding that bus stop. Okay, so they looked at me and waved me on. At that point, I was like, shit. It's past 10 o'clock in the evening. There's people that want to go to that station. Now, bearing in mind, the next stop is literally across the traffic lights and down a little bit at Lower Marsh. It's not far. But the thing is, I don't know if they're gonna miss their train or not. And there was no temporary stop sighted prior to that. So there's nothing I could do. You know, so I've got on the blower, on the PA system. This was before there was the bong, right? Because there's a new bong now. Right, we all like a little bong, don't we? But so I've pushed the PA system and I've gone, ladies and gentlemen, please accept my, this is before ladies and gentlemen became a crime to say, by the way. Yeah, we're not allowed to say ladies and gentlemen anymore. We have to say everyone, which is fair enough, it's inclusive. But, you know, back then it was manners, politeness. Ladies and gentlemen, you're either one or the other or both. So for me personally, if I say ladies and gentlemen, you're going to be either one or the other or both. I think it's as a compliment. You know, if you like to refer to yourself as they, the fact that I say ladies and gentlemen should be inclusive to you anyway. So anyway, moving swiftly on. So I said, ladies and gentlemen, please accept my apologies. The NTC has just closed this stop and I'm being waved on. I cannot stop at this stop. The next one is down at Lower Marsh. I tell you what, the uproar on that bus that evening, I'll tell you what, it would have kicked off a riot if there were any more people on there. I'm telling you, it's like it wasn't my fault. I tried so hard to keep my cool and it worked. But the thing is, people try their hardest to push our buttons, they really do. You know, every now and again on social media, you know, you'll see an unfortunate video of a bus driver somewhere, either in London or somewhere else in the country or somewhere else in the world. A video of a bus driver absolutely losing their shit. And I mean this, I've seen several, you know, bus drivers literally losing their composure and flipping out. Good morning, Roy. I do apologise for not reading all the comments, by the way. I'm trying to look where I'm going while looking at this as well. But we've all seen them. Some bus drivers literally losing their cool so bad. And people are there ready with their camera phones, ready to just catch the bus driver wigging out. Like, it's like, what can you do? You know, I understand the frustration that driver may have gone through that day in order to get to a point where he or she snapped. You see, I'm not condoning that behaviour. I'm not defending that behaviour. You see, if you're having a bad time with it, the best thing you can do, if you're stressed out on the bus, is to stop the bus in a safe way, grit your teeth, apologise to your passengers, transfer your passengers politely onto a different bus appropriately, call your controller and explain to your controller the reason why you feel you have to take a 20-minute break just to calm down and cool down. They will understand, because the last thing they want is for you to continue driving in a worked up, stress-filled state, because that's going to end up causing nothing but problems. It could cause an accident. No one wants to have a collision, or no one wants to have an argument, really. So if you are a bus driver and you are feeling stressed out to the point where you feel you're going to flip, grit your teeth for a couple of minutes, stop at a suitable bus stop, explain to your passengers that you're having to hold the bus there to regulate the service. Just make something up. Transfer your passengers accordingly, safely, be polite as you can, give everyone a transfer ticket so they can continue their journey. Call your garage controller when the bus is empty and explain the situation. If a garage controller is worth their salt, they will completely 100% understand, and they'll probably thank you for keeping it safe. Because after you've had a 20-minute just breather to collect yourself, oi, oi, chances are you're going to feel better. Then you can continue your journey safely. Chances are you'll never see those people again. But remember, just keep it as safe as you can. You see, flipping out at people like that, you know, and then someone there with their video phone, say, look at me like I'm in 2004 video phone. Someone with their phone is going to end up catching you do something stupid, and they won't ever catch the events that happened before that. They will only ever catch the bus driver reacting to something in a negative way. Okay, there will never ever be any evidence to say why that bus driver flipped out. All it will be is mad bus driver, mad this, angry that, blah blah blah, and it will make us all look bad. Keep it safe, keep it simple, keep it safe and simple. Kiss ass, I say it all the time. Don't give people a reason to badmouth us. If you're having a bad day, tell your controller. You can actually go and speak to your management as well. Right? You might not like the idea of going to speak to your management, but that's what they are there for. You can go and talk to them. If you have any concerns about anything, that is what they're there for. They're there for you, not just there for them. You see? Don't give the public a reason to think we're stupid. Don't act it. Be the best you can. You see, we all come to work to do the best we can. You know, it's like, for some, it's just a means to an end. You get up in the morning, you brush your teeth, you put your clean knickers on, you know, you get yourself dressed, you have your toast, you have your coffee, you go to work, you zombie all the way through your day, and then you go home, wash, rinse, repeat. There's no effort involved. But if you just come to work and do the best you can, you'll find that you enjoy your day a lot more. It's like when people are getting on my bus, I don't just sit looking straight out the window. I actually can't stand that when I'm getting on a bus and the driver just looks straight. Especially when I say, cheers driver, and he just completely looks straight. That pisses me off. That is what you got to understand. It's actions like that which make people think we're stupid. You know, don't be ignorant to people. So when I'm driving, as people are getting on my bus, I'm looking at them. You see? And the thing is, if you just give a little bit of eye contact and a nod, thank you, thank you, thank you, or good morning, whatever. Right? If someone says thank you, you're welcome. Good morning, driver. Morning. Hello, driver. Hello, mate. If someone says hello, hiya. You know, cheers, driver. Cheers, no problem. If someone gives you a nod, just go, give a nod. You see, it's just acknowledging your customers. You see, it's silly little things like that, because you're not going to get a thank you from anyone if you're looking that way or you're looking that way. Show that you're paying attention to your passengers, and the majority of the time they will look at you and just give you a nod or a hands up or a thank you. And that to me, I love it when someone says thank you, because I'm not going to sit there and ignore you. I'm going to respond to you in a polite way. And if you've said something nice to me and I've said something nice to you, that means you're happy, I'm happy, everyone's happy. I can then proceed with my journey happy. And if I'm driving happy, I'm driving safe. You see? And so it's a knock-on effect. There's always ways to make your day better, but don't ever give anyone an excuse to make a complaint about you, because 9 times out of 10, when people want to complain, they will find the stupidest reasons to complain. Even when things are not your fault. But the thing is, it's one of those, sooner or later, is going to be your fault. And it would have been entirely preventable just by following a little bit of Chrissy Boy's advice. Okay, be the best you. Even if it means going to bed a little bit earlier, having a little bit of extra sleep, you know, even if it's a case of half hour, 45 minutes to an hour earlier in bed, you know, because I was in bed by 7 o'clock last night. I didn't much enjoy it at first because it's daylight at 7 o'clock, but you know what, I went to bed anyway. And then I woke up at midnight, you know, struggled to get back to sleep, then woke up at 3 o'clock again this morning. But you know what, I'm rested. And that's the thing. And I saw something about 58 hours a week. You know, sometimes we do have to work long hours a week and only get paid for 5 days of that. I get that. I know it's a pain. So this week I'm working 7 days straight, but I'm only getting paid for 5 of those because my week starts on a Saturday and I'm working Saturday, Sunday. So it's literally a case of Saturday, Sunday are classed as 2 days of the new week. But rested, you ain't worked for a year and a half. Oh, please, don't give me that. Don't give me that. It's actually been, if you discount the 5 weeks I worked last year, it's actually nearly 21 months. And I haven't been well rested. Actually, I've had a lot of stress over the last nearly 2 years, so I haven't been well rested. But the thing is, I have to take myself off to bed early to make sure that I'm not fatigued. And that's another thing when it comes to drivers being snappy, is fatigue. And energy drinks. My God, you know what? I haven't had an energy drink in 2 years, actually. I haven't had an energy drink. Because what you'll find, if you're a bus driver, a lot of us bus drivers, we live on caffeine. Energy drinks, you get the expensive, you've got the Red Bull, you've got the Relentless, you've got the Monster. But the tipple of choice for most bus drivers is usually 35p tin of Boost or something like that, like tropical flavour, just for that instant kick, right? Or Bulldog. Other brands are available, but the problem with those, although they are short-term buzz, it's not great, because once you have that sugar come down, it is an absolute bitch. And I noticed that a long time ago, so I switched it out to sugar-free. So I wasn't having the come down so bad, but I was noticing that I was getting quite snappy. And that was my fault, because once I stopped drinking them, and I stopped drinking them before I was ill actually, I started noticing that I was actually feeling better in myself. I was drinking more water and less of that horrible stuff, and I was making myself a lot better mentally. So, you know, it's silly things. If you want to do the best you can, try and drink less energy drinks, because it's what a bus driver goes to. Just lay off the energy drinks. I'm telling you, it is dangerous, because the thing is, once you've got all that caffeine in your system, I used to drink 3 or 4 of these little tins a day, and then when I was finding I was getting home, I was absolutely knackered. But because that caffeine is still charging around in my system, I couldn't get to sleep. So of course, I'm getting very little sleep, and then I'm waking up and I'm going to work the next day, and I'm starting the cycle all over again. I'm thinking, shit, I need caffeine. What do? I buy an energy drink. And then I have 3 of those throughout the day, thinking I'm keeping myself in a good state of mental awareness. And then I'm getting home again, and I've still got caffeine in my system, and it just isn't going away. So of course, again, I can't get to sleep. So I have very little sleep. I wake up the next day feeling like crap because I'm on the come down. What do? I get more, and it goes on and on and on. And it does affect drivers' mentality, it really does. So lay off the energy drinks. It's really one of the best bits of advice I can give any bus driver is lay off, stop drinking them. They are bad for your mental health, I'm telling you. You know, everyone keeps going on about mental health this, mental health that, and I agree with them. This is one thing you can do to improve your mental health. Because if you're not drinking that crap and you're getting more and more fatigued by it, you see, you end up with better rest patterns because you're not drinking them. Better rest patterns means more natural energy. You're not going to be so aggressive, you see. And then you end up in a much better place mentally to control your vehicle. Let me see what Soft 16 is saying. Chris, why don't you cycle to work? Could you just see it? Nah, do you know what? I actually have got a bike. I've got a very good bike actually. I've got a Diamondback. It's Diamondback? Yeah, I've got a red one. The reason why I don't cycle to work is, one, I don't like cyclists, so I don't want to be one. Two, I don't trust other road users. Whether I'm in my car or driving a bus, I treat everyone like they are thick. So, you know, even though I could do that on a bike, I just genuinely don't want to. And three, it means leaving my expensive bike at work, chained up somewhere, and anyone could walk in the garage, through the garage doors, and break it and loose and steal it. Really, you know. I don't do cycling. I mean, very rarely I may get on my bike or a bike and go cycling around the woods, wherever. You know, I've not done that for a long time, but I do like riding a bike. But it will be a cold day in hell when you see me cycling to work. What's this? That's the park between Dulwich, right? I'm on Red Post Hill is where I am. I'm not far from Dulwich. In fact, I've walked through Dulwich Village about 10 minutes ago is what I did. But you know, we're not stupid. People treat us like we're stupid. So, you know, bus drivers, if you're watching this, and I hope there are some bus drivers going to watch this, remember, the day is always only ever going to be as good as you make it. No one else can make your day crap other than you. So if you come to work with a good mental attitude and you think to yourself, I'm gonna have a good day, then it's gonna happen. Even if you've been working 13 days straight because you had to have the overtime, just remember, oh yeah, I've got a backpack now. Backpack. Just remember, everyone, that it's on you. And it doesn't matter whether you're a bus driver or you're an office worker or you're a nurse or you work in a supermarket. The same rule applies. Your day is only ever going to be as good as you allow people to make it. Yeah? I don't allow people to drag me down. I used to. I don't do it anymore. Because once I start listening to people's negativity, that's when it starts affecting me. And there is absolutely no way I'm going to get sucked into that hole ever again. Ever. You see, I've had the crappiest 2 years. I am literally lucky to be alive. And because of that, I'm going to use it to my advantage. So nothing can really drag me down anymore. I may get upset, yes. I may get frustrated, yes. I'm only human. but there are ways of dealing with it. So every day I go to work, it's going to be a clean slate. I'm going to work, I'm going to have my coffee, I'm going to sit down, I'm going to do my paperwork, plenty of time to check my bus, drive out of service to Dulwich and start my day. Nothing is going to make my day bad today. Nothing. Not bad passengers, not controllers, nothing. Not even bad drivers on the road. Nothing is going to make my day bad today. And I hope to God that same mentality goes from me to you. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go now. I've rambled on this live for 41 minutes nearly. But remember, we're not stupid. You may think we are, but we're not. It's a choice for us to do this job. We're not forced to do this job. It's just the way it is. And bus drivers, remember to take my advice. Okay? And if you're just catching this now, go back, watch it from the beginning. Share this video, like this video. If it's your first time joining me, please hit the subscribe button. You guys are amazing. Good morning. Happy Wednesday. See you later. Much love. Mwah.